What if I told you that the United States doesn't need to own countries to influence how money moves around the world? No armies, no territorial conquest, no traditional empire. Instead, much of its influence comes from a financial system that millions of businesses, banks, and governments rely on every day. If that system were suddenly disrupted, global trade and finance would face enormous challenges. So how did this happen? To understand the answer, we need to go back to the end of World War II. After the war, much of the world economy had to be rebuilt. Countries needed a stable way to trade with one another, and the US dollar gradually became the dominant international currency. Over time, many important commodities, including oil, came to be commonly traded in US dollars. Central banks around the world also began holding large amounts of dollars as foreign exchange reserves because of their stability and widespread acceptance. Today, even when two countries trade directly with each other, the transaction may still involve the US dollar at some stage. But currency is only part of the story. Modern global trade depends on an enormous network of banks, payment systems, financial institutions, and international regulations. These systems make it possible for businesses in different countries to buy and sell goods quickly and securely. Because the United States has played a major role in developing and supporting many of these financial institutions, and because the dollar remains the world's primary reserve currency, it continues to have significant influence within the global financial system.
This influence extends beyond economics. When governments impose financial sanctions, access to certain banking systems or financial markets can become limited. That can make international trade far more difficult for affected countries or companies. This demonstrates how financial systems can become an important tool of international policy alongside diplomacy and military power.
Of course, the global financial system is not controlled by any single country alone. Many institutions, governments, central banks, private companies, and international organizations all play important roles. In recent years, several countries have also explored ways to reduce their dependence on the US dollar by increasing trade in their own currencies or developing alternative payment systems. Whether these efforts will significantly change the global financial landscape remains an open question. Building trust in a currency and creating a reliable international financial network takes decades. Businesses and investors generally prefer systems that are stable, predictable, and widely accepted. That is why change in the global financial system usually happens gradually rather than overnight. So when people ask who holds the most economic influence in today's world, the answer isn't simply about military strength or the size of a country's territory. It is also about the financial systems, currencies, institutions, and networks that connect the global economy. Understanding those systems helps explain how money moves across borders and why economic influence has become one of the defining forms of power in the modern world. In the next video, we'll explore whether emerging economies and new financial initiatives could reshape the global balance of economic power in the decades ahead.